Well, I think the new emissions are going to definitely change the face of coal in Kentucky, but fortunately, I think most producers in Kentucky have heard this same conversations that the president's been having for some time, so there's not a whole lot of new ideas that's coming out. It's just the same rhetoric that he's been talking about. But I think we're seeing now how it's going to affect Kentucky coal with massive layoffs and folks having a hard time getting permits. In my area, we're not a coal-producing area in central Kentucky, but the reason that I understand how important coal is because there's not a person in Kentucky that's not affected by the energy costs. Whether we're introducing a new factory in my community or your community, or whether it's in our personal households, energy costs are extremely important to us. And so the more difficult that it is for us to generate coal and produce power, the more expensive it is for us to produce products right here in Kentucky and to produce power at our homes. So I hope that we can continue to do everything we can to make sure that Kentucky can be protected, and the folks in Kentucky, including myself, can make the president and the executive branch realize how important the economy relies on the importance of coal and the cost of coal and coal-fired power plants. I toured one just recently in eastern Kentucky, and it's one of the last times that a coal-fired power plant had a permit in Kentucky. And without those permits and without coal coming from the ground here in Kentucky, the cost is going to be substantially increased. It's going to affect all of our households. So I'm going to continue to work and educate myself what's going on in Kentucky and how important coal is to Kentucky. And hopefully we can continue to stress that to the executive branch in Washington, D.C., with our friends of Brett Guthrie, Congressman Andy Barr, and all of our other folks, including Mitch McConnell, that understand how important it is to Kentucky and to the economic viability to make sure Kentucky is competitive to all of our surrounding neighbors.